Hello, and welcome to the Prepare to Prosper podcast, episode 13, where we prepare today to prosper tomorrow. And real quick, I screwed up the last week's episode and said it was number 11 when I already did 11. I titled it right, but I just mentioned it wrong. I thought I'd be up front and admit my mistake, even though it's a little mistake. I want to be honest with everybody, and integrity is an important thing to me, so I wanted to make sure I was up front and clear about that right away. And speaking of last week we talked about power and what to do for power outage, those kind of things, and how to secure our power on a short-term and long-term ongoing basis. And today we're going to be doing the same thing with health. Short-term stuff, long-term stuff. Now, health is really important now, not just when it becomes a disaster, because if you're not making yourself healthier and in better shape and more able to do things now, you won't be prepared for the disaster if it comes, whether it be a small disaster like changing your flat tire or a big long-term thing. And being unhealthy now may be your disaster, or maybe a disaster for your family. You don't want to have a heart attack or something while mowing the yard, shoveling snow. That breaks the number one rule of survival and preparedness, and that's to survive. If you have a heart attack and die while shoveling snow, I mean, I feel bad for you. That sucks. That's hard to deal with, and I feel bad for your family, but you should have been preparing beforehand. So we're going to start with talking about sanitation, and then we'll move on to more health stuff. So sanitation, in your car and in your everyday carry bag and stuff like that, carry some hand sanitizer. I don't use it very often, but if you need to clean up, hand sanitizer, dude wipes, wet wipes, toilet paper, those kind of stuff, invaluable when you actually need them, and don't depend on where you go having it. I've gone to gas stations before and they've been out, ran out to the car, grabbed my toilet paper. I even had a place where I worked. They forgot to order toilet paper and ran out. So when they ordered more, or I went down to the car and got me and the people that I worked with through the day. But then when they ordered more, I took a roll that they ordered and hid it in the building. And then when the pandemic hit and everybody was scared and buying toilet paper, somebody or multiple people stole all the toilet paper from work. And all those people that thought I was crazy for hiding toilet paper in the building are now coming to me like, hey man, you still got some toilet paper? I've never been a drug dealer, but I kind of feel like that's what a drug dealer, like, hey, they were all whispering and like quiet and didn't want people to know that I had toilet paper. Those were strange times. Anyway, so in your bug out bag, I see a lot of bug out bags. They don't have anything to deal with having to go to the bathroom in the woods. It's a fact of life. You can look for a lot more information for that. Look into the backpacker community and stuff like that. But a little folding shovel, some hand sanitizer, some wet wipes. You want the decomposable like diaper wipe things, and then toilet paper. A lot of times you'll see the bug out bag people on YouTube, because a lot of that information comes from the military, and also the backpacker stuff, because they usually only backpack in the summer. And the military, right now, past few decades, is spending most of their time in warm climates. They all say, oh, you want these decomposable wipes. Well, I go camping year round, and you don't want disposable wipes in the winter. You want regular toilet paper, because disposable wipes freeze solid and they're useless. Now, toilet paper is great. Disposable wipes are better. I'm not going to get into all the details of why they're better. We're all adults here. We know why. But, the big thing for me that makes them better is in the rain, because I've been backpacking and it was raining, and you're trying to go to the bathroom and you're trying to get your toilet paper out and use it while shielding it with your raincoat so you don't get wet. Doesn't get wet, and it's the fast dissolving stuff that's nice on the environment. So you're trying to use it while it's getting wet and dissolving. No good. disposable wipes are great in those situations. On to a less disgusting topic. Store lots of your household cleaners. So make a list of all the household cleaners you have. And when you go to the grocery store and you're buying your extra food, make sure you add extra cleaners to that. Have a designated spot to store them just like you would your extra food. And if you can, start switching to less toxic cleaners. That's out of the scope of this video, but Melissa K. Norris, she has a great YouTube channel, and she talks about that. Also, there's a book, I can't remember the name of it, that I bought years ago, that talks about making your own cleaners. I wish I would have looked up the name of the book. Sorry about that. I'll try to put it in the description. But anyway, there's all kinds of resources on making homemade cleaners. But homemade soap, you can store all the ingredients for. Making soap, making your own laundry detergent from that soap, and then also vinegar, and that'll get you through most of your cleaning stuff. We'll probably, as we switch to less and less of this stuff and have a better handle on this, we'll do a video on that, on what we have and what we have stored. But also store your extra dishwasher pods, stuff like that. And if you only use your dishwasher, make sure you have some dish soap to do our dishes by hand with, because you may not be able to run your dishwasher if the power's out and you still need to wash your dishes. I think that's it for cleaners and stuff like that. Alright, so diet and exercise. So those are two big things. Everybody talks about it. You hear people like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get in better shape. Well, quit trying and actually do something. Me and Sarah are going to start walking. Already started walking more. We're going to start forcing the kids to walk more. That's their PE class for their homeschooling. But start out slow and work your way up. And we're going to start putting in strength training and stretching stuff too, because being able to be flexible and be able to do things is important, and having the strength to do things. Cardio is great. The military focuses way too much on cardio, though. Yes, you need to be able to walk and move, but being able to sprint, being able to lift heavy things and do heavy things is more important than having good cardio. The average person, even out of shape, can do a lot more walking than they think they can. But make sure you're at least in good enough shape to carry your bug out bag for as far as you think you may need to carry it. And the only way to do that is to start off slower and work your way up and get to the point where you can do that. And then, also an advantage of strength training is as your muscles get bigger, they need more calories to run. So you'll lose weight better than you will with cardio, because your resting metabolic rate will go up. I know I'm not a good example of that right now, but I have lost like 20 pounds, and Sarah's lost about that too, but from eating healthier alone. And speaking of eating healthier, you can't out-exercise a bad diet plan. So if you eat like an extra slice of bread, you have to walk, I think it's a mile, to burn off all the calories in that slice of bread. You don't have time. None of us have time to out-exercise a bad diet. So I recommend you do your plan. You come up with what you want for your diet plan and stick to it. But this shouldn't be a short fad diet. This should be instead of a diet plan, think of it more like an eating plan. This is how you're going to eat for the rest of your life if you can. Now, we store foods that aren't in our diet plan down in the crawl space in buckets, but that's for emergency food, and ideally we'd be feeding that to other people while we still eat what we can. Hopefully we don't run into that kind of disaster ever, but start out with something simple. We all know that refined sugars and seed oils are bad. Just eliminate those from your diet. If you can't do it all together, eliminate them from your diet during the week, and then on the weekends eat whatever, and then maybe in the future spread that out so you don't eat seed oils and refined sugars. And be careful, those things will sneak up on you. I didn't realize until I looked at the label, and I should have, that the number 2 ingredient in the salad dressing that I enjoy is soy oil. And that stuff's really bad for you. Soybeans are really bad, especially for men, because of the phytoestrogens in them. They're bad for women too, because they screw up their hormone systems too. But also, it's a seed oil, and you can find all kinds of more information about what seed oils are and why they're bad for you. And Dr. Ken Berry is a great resource here on YouTube. He's got books, all kinds of stuff. He may have a podcast, I don't know. And then what me and Sarah do is we try to eat like a third of our calories come from protein, a third of our calories come from high quality fats, and a third of our calories come from good carbs. So like green beans and lettuce. We even avoid corn, and we don't try not to eat that much green beans, but like leafy things mostly for our carbs. We don't eat bread. We avoid bread. We try to get try to get under 100 carbs. She has some other health problems, so she's trying to stay under 25 carbs. And then the rest of our calories are coming from protein and fat. We may actually be eating more protein and fat than just 30% of each, whatever. And that's 3% of your, like, the size of your plate. Like, don't be, like I said, Kim Berry talks a lot about this. He calls it the natural human diet. You don't have to be super rigid. Just avoid bad carbs. Avoid sugar, breads, pastas, grains, things that humans aren't meant to eat. Stick mostly to getting as much of your calories as you can from meats, fats, and leafy greens. And I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I've looked for and what I've seen doctors and other people who know more than I do talk about, and what's working for us. Like I said at the beginning, you do what works best for you. Consult your doctor, all the legal things, don't sue me, whatever. All right, medication. The average American is on, like, I think it's like almost every American takes at least one pill. And most people are on like 2 or 3 pills. So again, this is something you need to work with your doctor with. But you need to find a way to start weaning yourself off of those medications if you can. I understand. If you are diabetic, don't stop taking your insulin until you get yourself healthier. If you have lupus, don't stop taking your steroids just because you heard some wacko with a weird hat talk about it on YouTube. Start weaning off any medicines you can. And some medicines you have to wean off slowly. Some you have to go to your doctor to wean off with, like antidepressants. But the least amount of medicine you take, the healthier you get, the least amount of medicine you take. The less medicine you take, the less medicine you'll be missing if you can't get that. Whether that be from a real disaster where you can't get to medicine. Let's say you live in the Northeast right now, or even on the East Coast right now, and maybe even into the Midwest. We're already dealing with some shortages of some medicines, and now we had that boat run into the bridge. Who knows what disruptions that are going to cause. COVID caused all kinds of disruptions with medicine. So if you're not dependent on as many medicines, you'll be better off in those kind of emergencies and disasters. But again, this is a decision you're going to have to make with your doctor and how to do it and come up with a plan. There's too many medicines out there, too many diseases. I'm not a medical professional. I can't help you here. But if you can eat healthier and exercise better, you won't need as many like high blood pressure medicines and stuff like those, and you can get off of them. And also do a lot of research into cholesterol medicine and brain health. Okay. And storing medicine. There's lots of different strategies. I'm not going to go into all the strategies here. There's lots of YouTube videos and stuff on it. I think the Jace case is awfully interesting. I haven't looked much into it. I don't own one, but I think they're a great idea. But Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy have a YouTube channel and a podcast, and they'll tell you a lot about how to store medicine. They also have a bunch of books. They're the top people for like this kind of like medicine stuff. They're not really trauma people. They're like how to provide, like be your family's doctor in quotation marks. Like take care of your family's health. That's where they specialize in. All right, have a good first aid kit. Have a good first aid kit in your everyday carry bag. Have a good one in your car. Have a good one on your plate carrier or your pistol belt. I'm working on buying some first aid kit stuff that I can carry in my cargo pockets to have with me every day. I carry a pistol with me every day. I should be able to respond to if I get injured. And if I have to use the pistol, something bad's happening, I may get injured. I should have that stuff on me, not in the everyday carry bag in the car while I'm in Walmart. So I want to start carrying that stuff with me on my person. I'm not there yet. And then store more Band-Aids. Like as you're storing beans and bullets and beans and stuff in your basement and rice and those foods, also store buckets full of first aid stuff. Hopefully you never need them, but if you're treating a serious wound at home, you're going to need more of that stuff than you can imagine. And a great place to get started on that kind of stuff is Bear Independent. There's also some other people on YouTube that teach you some stuff, but more important than that, find a Red Cross safety or first aid class, take a first responder class, get some certifications, and get some hands-on stuff. That's more important. You can watch all the YouTube videos you want. Yeah, you might learn some cool tricks, but if you don't have the hands-on experience, you're not going to be able to do those in emergency. You'll be like, how do I put this tourniquet on again? What do I pull? How do I twist this thing? No, you just need to learn to do it. Hands-on experience, so you can do it with your eyes closed. You know, you can do it when you're cold, you're wet, you're hungry, you're tired, your adrenaline's pumping. You gotta be able to do those skills. And that's all I have for today. So what I want for the homework for me and for homework for you is to figure out what kind of start looking up a diet plan, an exercise plan, researching that. Start organizing your cleaning supplies and storing extra, and do some more research on first aid and how to store medicine, and start storing those up, and start looking for a class of first aid you can take. I know that's a lot of homework this time. That's just the way it is. Health is probably the biggest, or probably the biggest, not probably, it is the biggest survival topic there is, and there's not a lot on it because it's not as cool as we wanted to. It's not very cool. You don't get a lot of clicks. We get more from doing a cool gun video or something like that, but this is probably more important. And more Americans die from bad health than anything else, so this is where we actually need to start with our preparedness. So I'll work on my homework, you guys work on your homework, and I'll see you next week. Remember, we prepare today to prosper tomorrow.